Hi, I'm Joey Molland from Badfinger. Stay tuned, because Taped with Rabbi Doug is next.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight.
But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're going to watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug.
Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom and welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. We're here for part 2 at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare for the Fest for Beatle Fans 2011, and I am here with author Bruce Spicer. Bruce is the highly respected author of 6 volumes of the Beatles' U.S. record releases, and a 7th being premiered this weekend here in Chicago. Beatles for sale on Parlophone Records. Bruce's legendary audiovisual shows take place on weekends. He will be joined, as he is often, for discussions. Frank Daniels is his co-author on a lot of this, and he signs these things and talks to people and travels with the Fest for Beatle Fans often, talking about what he does. Bruce, tell us, how did you come about, first of all, just writing these books and putting together all this information?
Well, I started to actually do what was going to be one book dealing with the Beatles records on VJ, a small R&B gospel label out of Chicago that by a strange quirk of circumstances ended up having the Beatles on their label in 1963, and there was early into 64 there was some litigation over the rights of the Beatles recordings between VJ and Capitol Records, a very major, powerful record label, and it had never been explained properly, so the idea was I would do a book explaining how all this came about. And when the book came out, people seemed to enjoy it, and they said, well, when are you going to do a book on the Capitol Records? So I started doing that, and then they were, well, certainly you have to do the Beatles' own label, Apple Records. And so what was going to be one book on a footnote in Beatles history developed into a whole series of books, actually 7 titles covering the Beatles record releases in America. And after that, I thought I would retire and relax and write no more Beatle books. And the last book I did was even called The Beatles' Swan Song. And it was going to be my swan song, but people said, you know, no one's ever really done a good book explaining the Beatle records released in the United Kingdom, which was where the Beatles were from. And I kept saying, no, I don't want to do that book. But Frank Daniels had done some research toward doing a book, and after about a year of that, he started bugging me about doing the book together with him. And that's how it came about. The net result was this book here, Beatles for Sale on Parlophone Records. And it covers all of the singles, albums, and EPs, extended play discs, released by the Beatles from 1962 through 1970, including a history of EMI and all sorts of other fun things.
How many discs altogether actually came out as discs?
Well, the Beatles' initial record releases were 22 singles, 13 albums, and 13 extended play discs. And that was all between 1962 and 1970, a very short period of time, just showing you how incredible the music of the Beatles were.
How much research did it take to do this? Now, do you contact the record companies? Do you go through record stores? Do you, where do you find all this information? Obviously, if we want to look back to 1962 or 1963 up to 1970, it wasn't all put on the internet back then.
No, I mean, what you do, at least you do a lot of research and going to, I like using magazines like Record Retailer and New Musical Express, and go back to the British Library and go through all the issues that came out during that time period. Because when you had quotes from John, Paul, George, or Ringo then, it was contemporaneous. It wasn't someone looking back 40 years later and remembering, when often memories are wrong. And then I would interview people, but it would always be a combination of whatever documents I could come up with, articles about them, and what people said, and putting it all together, never taking somebody's explanation of something without being able to back it up with other things.
Very nice. Has this spread out besides the public? Are there other historians that have come to you for information?
Well, other people ask me information, and I get a lot of my information from fellow collectors. They've been a tremendous help. So I think people, there's a very good free flow of information between people. I'm happy to assist people. just as people are happy to assist me.
Great. Well, I want to wish you much success
Thank
with
you.
all of your publications.
Right, Beatles for sale on Parlophone Records.
Beatles for sale on Parlophone Records. This is Bruce Spicer. Thank you once again, and thanks for being here at the Fest for Beatle Fans in Chicago 2011. And stay with us. We'll be right back, right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug.
Hi folks, it's Henry McCullough here at the Chicago Beatles Fest, and this is Taped with Rabbi Doug, one of the best. Tune in.
Who we have the honor of having in our presence, playing with Joe Cocker's Grease Band. How many Joe Cocker fans in the audience? We also played with a guy named Paul McCartney. How many Paul McCartney fans do we have in the audience? Ladies and gentlemen, Henry McCullough!
Welcome back. I'm here with Henry McCullough here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. He is the former lead guitar player from Paul McCartney and Wings. He's also Joe Cocker's guitar player. Welcome to the show, and welcome to Chicago for Fest for Beatles fans.
Well, thank you kindly. That's real nice of you.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Where are you located? Where do you live these days?
Well, I live where I was born. I live in Ireland, up in the north, up near the Giant's Causeway or Bushmills Distillery, up that area. I'm not sure if you would know it.
I've heard
But
of
I
it.
went away. I was born and raised there. I left when I was 17 and took to the road. And not so long ago I had, well, about 5 years ago I had an accident in my hand. I had to have microsurgery done in Belfast, and they were well used for that sort of thing. And so it kept me off the road for 3 years. And during that period, when I was recuperating, I fell in love with Ireland again and decided it was the best place to be. I could work out of there as well as work out of London, which where we had been before. And when I was working in Ireland prior to going on, there was no studios or anything that had to be done with music. You had to go to London to do it, or England, you know. But nowadays, what with the success of U2 and everything, all that, and the golfers from Ireland as well, there was no need for any young guitar players or young bands to go to England, you know, to seek fame and fortune. They could do it at home, and there's studios all over Dublin, all over the country, you know. So it's a big help for the youth of Ireland when they want to go into lay demos down. There's always somewhere they can go and do it, and if they don't have the money, there's people who will do it for nothing just to get them a start. So it's real nice. But I fell in love with Ireland anyway again, and it was just as I remembered it. And I was taking roads that I'd taken 40, 50 years ago, and that was, they're still the same. But you have a motorway that will go right round Ireland, so it's not too difficult to travel there. Before, with the state of the roads and everything, it was very, very backward, really, you know.
Are you playing music in Ireland a lot, or do you travel a lot still, even though you're based there?
Well, I'm based now, but I do travel, but I don't travel a lot. Not as much as what I used to. Like when I come over to work with Joe, the first tour of America was like 9 months, and that was real heavy. But I was young, and we were all younger, you know, and it was easy done. But now I go out and I go to Poland and Denmark, Norway. I went to Japan a couple of years ago, just on my own, and there was a great Japanese blues band that came along and helped me out, you know. They weren't just blues players, they, you know, they had knowledge of all music, you know, as most musicians do nowadays. Before, people would have, Japanese blues band? But because of the state of the world and all that's going on now with the internet and everything else, it has opened up the whole world to anything that you really want to do, and they were great players, and they weren't just blues players, but they sort of, the only thing, they weren't country players. Sure. They didn't go into that area, but they were very good, and I enjoyed immensely doing it, you know. But I only did it once, and I was to go back this year, but I decided against it. I was to go in November.
But here they brought you to Chicago for the festival.
They brought me to Chicago for the festival, and it was nice because my friend Denny Sywell, who used to be in Wings.
He was here last year. He toured with them last year. He played drums. He was right here in Chicago last year with us on a TV show.
Well, I spoke to him on the phone, and I think he had partly got to do with getting me here. He mentioned to Mark and stuff, we should get Henry over, and I hadn't. I'd done the Beatles Festival in Liverpool, which was great, but it's nothing like the Beatles Festival here in Chicago.
Oh, great. We're so glad.
In Liverpool, you know, somehow America has grabbed the Beatles and almost
run with it.
Yeah. But in Liverpool, it was the same, you know, but it wouldn't have the same type of event as what goes on here.
It's really a great event.
You know, this is special, and I was delighted to get off my ass and get over here and join the company, you know.
Well,
I'm only here for a short time. You know.
Delighted to have you here. We're delighted to have you in Chicago. I'm delighted to have you on the show, Henry. Henry McCullough with us here on Taped with Rabbi Doug, former lead guitar player of Paul McCartney and Wings. Joe Cocker's the guitar player, and right here, the guitar player right here with the Fest for Beatles fans in Chicago. Stay with us here on Taped with Rabbi Doug, and we'll be back. Thanks again, Henry.
Thank you kindly.
Song that we did a few years back, a good few years back. A long time ago, actually. I think you know what it's called, My Love.
You know my heart can stay with my love. It's understood. It's in the hands of love. My love does it good. But something there, my love, it's understood, it's everywhere, my love does it good.
Jerry Rafferty from Steelers Wheel and Baker Street passed away this year. And he was a Beatle freak, and Ringo had asked him to go on all-star tours, and the schedule never worked out. And then Mark Bolden was one of Ringo's best friends, and he inspired Back Off Boogaloo for Ringo. So we kind of put this little thing together. You can't forget Mark Bolden. I said Mark Bolden. Ah, come on, back. me, joking to the right. And let's see if you got it. Ready? Go to the beat, right? 1, 2, 3. What are you saying? Sound like Republicans.
That's it for the Fest for Beatlefest 2011. I want to thank Mark Lapidos, Henry McCullough, Joey Molland. I want to thank Mark Hudson. I want to thank Terri Hemmert and everybody here at the Fest for Beatlefans. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, or email us, info@tvrabbi.com. Hope to see you next week, same time, right here on Tape with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone.
This has been a Taped with Rabbi Doug production.